Office for Lakeland, Florida.
Yeah.
I was calling because I wanted to know. I was calling basically to talk to somebody about the case of the 11-year-old that was just arrested because basically because he didn't want to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And I saw here that the officer said that he wasn't arrested because of the Pledge of Allegiance, but if he wasn't, then why the hell was he called?
I'm not sure of that case. Um,
It's
we
it.
can't give out his bias or talk about the case either, so I'm not sure.
Well, who will we call to complain? Because see, this is obviously. I mean, seriously. One,
Where did it happen at?
it happened in Lakeland at Lawton Childs Middle
Um,
Academy.
when did it happen? To like today?
No, actually, it's all over the news. I guess you didn't see it, but it's all over the news.
Oh.
It happened, I think, last week. A child was arrested. 11-year-old black child was arrested because he didn't stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Because, I mean, he was taught the same way I was taught. I'm 41 and I've never stood for the Pledge of Allegiance. So, I mean, I don't understand how a teacher could actually be in a school and not know that it's not against the law not to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. That's actually his constitutional right. And then she made the statement that if America is so bad, why are you here? I, I mean, really, as a black man, we know what that means. Go back to Africa, basically, was a nice way of what she was saying, but we didn't bring ourselves here. And really, if that child wanted to be facetious, he could have went, well, ma'am, you're Cuban. We didn't volunteer to come here to work for a quarter.
I don't know. If
I
he's
do.
young, if he's young,
He's
um,
11. He's
yeah,
11.
the
And they,
juvenile, we wouldn't even handle it anyways here in Lakeland because Bartow handles juveniles.
it's Bartow?
Um,
It's the one in Bartow?
yeah.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
So, okay, thank you. I do actually
You're
have that
welcome.
number, so I'll give them
Okay.
a call. Thank you.
Mhm.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
So let's call the state's attorney's 10th judicial office in Bartow, Florida. The number is 863-534-4800. Let's see what they got to say.
State Attorney's Office, how may I direct your call?
Ma'am, how you doing? My name's LeVar Smith. I was calling because I wanted to know who I complained to about the case of the 11-year-old who was basically arrested for not standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. And why are we charging him with
Did that happen in Polk County?
that happened in Lakeland? I called Lakeland. They said that because he's 11, did you call Bartow? And this is Bartow, right?
Yes, it is.
That
I just haven't heard. I haven't heard anything about this. That's why I questioned
oh,
it.
it's
Has it
all
happened
it's
in Polk
all over the
County
news, ma'am. It's an 11-year-old boy.
today? It's
Uh,
been all over the news today.
it's been over the news today and this weekend. It's an 11-year-old.
Oh,
Yeah, it's an
my,
11-year-old
I
boy.
hadn't heard about it. I hadn't heard about it. But let me get you back to. Let me get you back to juvenile. Let me let you talk to them. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Pecklewood.
State Attorney's Office. This is Brandy.
How you doing, Brandy? This is LeVar Smith, and I was calling because I just wanted a little clarification. Um, the young man that was arrested for basically not standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and was overcharged with resisting arrest. Tell me that the state's attorney's office is not going to be so petty as to not drop those charges because really they were only called because he didn't stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and that is not a reason to be arrested. His constitutional right states that he doesn't have to stand for it. I myself, as 41 years old, have never stood for the Pledge of Allegiance because it's against my religious beliefs.
Okay. Hang on just a second, and I'm going to put you to who you need to talk to, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back with you.
I'm sure by now many of you have heard about
Thank you for holding. We sincerely appreciate your patience. Please stay on the line. We'll be back in a moment.
Are you full? Huh? All right, you can go ahead and cover it up. Put the top on it. Then.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
My name is LeVar Smith, and I was basically calling inquiries about the young man that was arrested for not standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay.
And I was trying to figure out basically why is he being overcharged like that when we know that the police was only called because he wouldn't stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. But then he was arrested and charged with resisting arrest, an 11-year-old. Really? I understand this is Florida, the home of George Zimmerman, but come on. Come on.
Okay, so
I'm trying to figure out why are they overcharging
are
an
you,
11-year-old?
first of all, okay, are you involved in the case?
Am I involved? Yes, I'm a black man in America, so I'm involved in the case. Yes, ma'am. I'm a citizen. I'm a citizen of Florida. I'm involved in the case. Yes. As a black man in America, I am involved in this case. As somebody that pays taxes, I'm involved in this case. I'm just asking a serious question. Who do you complain to that the system is overcharging the 11-year-old and the school teacher wasn't even intelligent enough to know that it's actually his political right to decline to stand for the national anthem or the Pledge of Allegiance. He does not have to stand for that.
Okay, and this is which county was this in?
This was in Lakeland, Florida, Lawton Childs Elementary School. And he's an 11-year. It's all over the news. You can't miss it. I'm trying to figure out how people all over the world know it, but the people who are supposed to handle the case doesn't know.
Okay, well, first of all, we have so many cases, and I'm a secretary. I'm not one of the attorneys.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm just taking your information. Now, do you have access to a computer?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, this is what I would suggest to you if you would like to do it. You can go to our website, and on the homepage it says "Contact Us,"
Okay.
and you can type an email, and all of these emails go to the state attorney to
Okay.
read.
Okay. And who is the state attorney there?
Brian Haas is the state attorney.
Brian Haas. Haas or Hoss? Okay. Brian Haas.
Haas.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Brian
So,
Haas.
Yes, you can go to our website, and it'll say right on the front page, "Contact Us," and then you can type, your email, and they all come to me, and I'm his assistant. So.
Okay.
And I will pass it on to him.
No problem. Okay, well, thank you. I'll go get on that website, and hopefully you pass the message to Mr. Haas that the school to prison pipeline works exactly like this. So maybe he could understand that this is not cool what he's doing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, and let me give you our website address. It's SAO for State Attorney's Office.
Yes.
SAO
Yes,
10.com.
SAO10.com.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you. And Mr. Haas will be hearing from us shortly.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
So y'all got the name of this state's attorney, this Brian Haas asshole. And let me see what I can find out about Brian Haas. Let me see about this fucking Brian Haas. Brian Haas is a piece of shit is what he is. Folks, y'all go find out about who this Brian Haas is, and y'all give him hell. I gave y'all the numbers. Y'all know what to do. 1LVZ, man.